everyone. This is Brother Benson, and joined with Miguda. Miguda, can you check whether on the YouTube, because like I think there's a problem with the StreamYard.
Okay.
Makubura, can you check?
Yeah, it is. It's okay. It's working.
It's working now. When you come to StreamYard, when you come to stream, it doesn't show you whether you're live or not.
It shows.
It shows.
Yeah, on my side it shows.
We are live.
What about on the studio? When you look at on the studio, there's that.
On my side, it shows that we are live.
We are live.
And I can see some comment from Gypsy Corner, of course, admitting that Anatutaza.
Okay. Now it's showing on my side. Thank you so much, Makubura, because like of late we've been having problems with the StreamYard, especially the other day you dropped all of you. So when I came in, it just ended like that. So that we have to create another show, which was not very easy on our side. Gibson Connor, thank you so much for joining. How many links, guys, do you have? We have 2 links. One of them is for a backup. We have a backup app called Restream. So what happened with the Restream, just in case the StreamYard drops, we can continue with the Restream. We can just go back because now it's a schedule already scheduled. We can just go back and start on the Restream. So that is the main reason, because from Friday until today, we've been having issues to do with the StreamYard, because the other day, all of you, including Joseph Karaoke, dropped without no reason. When I came in, because I was backstage, then Miguda came in and the show ended. So that is we are trying to create up a backup plan. Thank you so much. And today is another sad day, and I tell you, when you go to the internet, especially, I saw another woman who was confessing that I'm mourning, and I don't know who I'm mourning. I just found myself mourning, and it tells you the murder of Albert Ojwang is one very brutal murder. We say that this guy died in pain, and I hope he was asking for help, but nowhere he could get the help, because the authorities that were there were supposed to safeguard his life. But now, from the autopsy report, all of us, I think you've seen that autopsy report, and it is quite shocking, because even the police officer who published the first memo, actually, he should be questioned, whereby he said that the brother, the late Gilbert, had injuries on the head. But now, if you look at from autopsy, it is not true. It says that the injury from the head was not due to inflicted injuries, So that is from the report. So before we go into the discussion, maybe let me take this opportunity to give Miguda to weigh in your thoughts, as also Makubura too will do the same.
Thank you, Bro Benson, and our viewers for tuning to the channel. First, I'd like to welcome each and everybody, and also to send my greetings to everybody. But just to weigh my thought on the introduction part of it, the statement by the pathologist has contradict what was in the public domain by the police officer. The report we got from the police officer that the deceased had some injuries on his head, that he was hitting the wall, is contrary to the findings of the autopsy report. The pathologist has just stated very clearly that actually there were people who aided to the demise of the deceased, because from the corpse we could see some injuries in the eyes, nose, mouth, but later we find out that there was compression of the neck of the deceased. So we have different report from the autopsy report. We have the pathologists, the findings. At the same time, we have the officer, who is not an expert, with a different report. We are convinced that actually the report from the pathologist is the accurate, and I think the defense counsel, the people who are going to represent the victim to the court, are actually going to work on that report. They are going to write the report. Report was supposed to be taken by the pathologist who was supposed to carry out the task was government pathologist Johnson Odwor. But we find out that Johnson Odwor is related to the disease. So he has to withdraw from the services because it could have created that the people or the people who are the complainant could argue in court that it is a family affair, that the report has been compromised because Johnson Odwor is related to the family. Now they needed a neutral pathologist, and that's why they sought the services of one Dennis. And I think from the report he gave the people, those are the accurate report, and they are the ones which are going to be used in the court proceedings.
Okay, thank you so much. Makobura, what is your take?
Okay, first allow me to acknowledge the presence of GPSICON at the comment section, Mabella, number 1 at the comment section, and everyone who is watching us, and just remind them that this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. We are in times where, life is not respected, and the most painful part of it is that it is not respected by the people that part of them we voted, the people that part of them we pay taxes, and the taxes that we pay is what pays their salary. So in short, they are supposed to be helping the people of Kenya, taking care of their lives, and ensuring that their lives are safe, similar to the political leaders, of which we have the same. We expect the same from them. We woke up very early in the morning and we went to vote for them. And after we voted for them, they swore before the people, of course, carrying the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya and the Bible or the Quran, depending on the religion that they subscribe to. And they said very well that they are going to ensure that they protect the lives of the people of Kenya, and they're going to ensure that the people of Kenya feel safe. It is so unfortunate that this evening, of course, the country is bleeding, so to say, because we lost a gentleman, and it's so painful that while this young man was in police custody, the police came out and told the people of Kenya that the gentleman killed himself. And that alone is such a painful thing that, you can kill someone and then you come out and tell the public that he killed himself. It is such a painful thing to the people of Kenya. And I like one thing with the people of Kenya, as much as, of course, we are being told that we are tribal, as much as we are being told that we are, people are politically affiliated, I like the fact that the people of Kenya came together, no matter the tribe, no matter the region, and they voiced their voices either via the social media or some of them went to the street. And it's a good thing that now, at least, out of that pressure, we are starting to get the reality. First, with what the report that was received or that was read by the autopsy doctors, clarifying that, as it had been alleged, it is not true that this gentleman killed himself, but instead this man underwent several tortures And because of those tortures, the gentleman died. I saw again the father of this gentleman talking after receiving that report. And it all reminded me where the humanity in the police force, the humanity in the political class has gone. It is such a painful thing that we are experiencing in this society, and again in these times. The most painful bit is that we have leaders coming from the Luo Nyanza. They keep on speaking that we are in broad-based government, that atufai, we are not supposed to talk bad about the government. And I'm coming to learn that when they are benefiting from this government, you are not supposed to talk. But when a normal citizen is being killed, being robbed of their lives, being robbed of their properties, they expect the normal wananchi not to speak. It's such a painful thing. I also like the fact that those leaders who have been quiet, and especially from the Luo Nyanza, I saw the woman rep of Oma Bay trying to visit that scene. I like the fact that she was told that she should just go back because her presence there was a show of hypocrisy, one that we've seen among the political class. And I wish the political class are getting to learn something from the people. The people of Kenya have gotten to a point where they will leave, whether the politicians are there or not. They do not expect anything. The people of Kenya have decided to channel their own ways, assisting one another. I've also seen several calls from social media asking Eric to just form a pay bill so that the people of Kenya can assist this family. As much as they might need financial support, and the people of Kenya would want to contribute to them, yes. But it is such a painful thing that even as the people of Kenya contribute, no matter what amount, whether it is millions of money, it is not going to replace the life of Albert, who was a young gentleman, having a young wife, having a young baby, and the only child of that family. That is my take.
Okay, thank you so much. And let me take this opportunity to thank our good friend Joseph for coming into the show. Thank you so much. Yesterday, we don't know what happened. My brother, we just found that everybody dropped. And before we go to today, President was having a meeting at State House. I think with they were clergy. And the president did not mention anything about the death of the young man, but this is what he did on his Twitter handle. We must all work together to unite our nation and reject our attempts to divide us along tribal lines. Let us stay focused on our shared development aspirations, which promise inclusivity, growth for all. As a government, we remain committed to working with the leaders across the political spectrum to confront the challenges facing Kenyans and to implement programs and projects that fast-track our economic transformation. At State House, Nairobi hosted over 600 leaders from African Independent Pentecostal Church. Those are the members that the church that President hosted today, and there were almost over 600. And when you go, people have different views on that, and but he did not mention anything to do with Albert Ojwang's. Maybe he's still waiting for the report, especially from investigation, so that he can have a conclusive, report. So that is okay. Thank you so much, my brother. What is your take on what happened today, especially when it comes to the report, autopsy report by the doctor?
Brother, how are you?
We are doing
you,
fine.
Yes. Sorry. Yesterday you got overwhelmed by emotions, and we understand. I'm very sorry. Everybody is overwhelmed with emotions. Not only you. Today I had the father talking. I shed tears because it's hard thinking about the next steps. Now everything is coming to the clear. We were given the report today, so everything is coming to the clear. So the more we are getting to the clear is the more things are going to be too much heavy on the family.
Yeah.
So also as we speak here, we need to comfort the family also, because the family is passing through a hard time, brother.
It's
not only in talking and us talking here. We need to comfort the family. It is going through a very hard time.
Yeah.
And it's not only the father. There is the mother. There is the wife. I'm feeling so touched by everything that is also I saw people should stop posting these pictures of Albert. It's not it's
Yeah.
very it's not even people should know how to be tolerant and
Yeah.
please, the family is hurting, brothers. There is not only the family; they have also extended families. They have cousins, they have nieces. So please, let's be careful with our words, and also our words. We should be careful with our words. I saw a very stupid person who is. I don't know if he became. He became. What do we say? He became handcuffed. He became even handcuffed in the brain. How can you talk such nonsensical words? Just because you dine with the president, you come and start saying that I don't know, Langati is a Catholic, he can never do this. Brother, stop giving us your nonsense. If you have eaten too much miraa there, brother, if you have not slept because of eating your miraa there, you stay at there and stop. Some people, even when they catch the mobile, I think they're supposed to be taking the mobile and the mic off them because I don't know. So about the autopsy, there's nothing else we could have received, brother. It's just because today we found the truth. So many of the autopsies we have been lied to. The government always manipulate them, and they tell the pathologist what to say. But in this case, they found it rough because nobody was siding with them. And on the one thing that made this autopsy to be made clear and to be told the truth is because even when you look in Kenya, the number one trending topic is about Albert. There's no other topic that is being spoken about in Kenya, and it's supposed to be that way. We are supposed to raise our voices like that. Not only people who are demonstrating in the streets, brother. We are doing something big. Don't think we are not doing anything for the family. We are doing very, very, very big things. If you see us going through social media, going from this platform to the other one, voicing our voice, it's because we want justice for Albert. And there's a guy I was talking today with my friend. I told him this time they are not getting scot free. This time nobody is getting scot free. We are used to a person is killed, then we come here, we speak. Oh, we speak. Then after you hear the story has just disappeared. We are not doing that. This will be the first start. And the person who killed this young man, he will be an example to the other policemen.
Yep.
They will be looking at this issue and they are all afraid.
Yeah, okay. Now let's go. Thank you so much for that view. And now let's go to the conversation. And because there's so many questions that people are asking, and I will start with you, Miguda, especially when it comes to the arrest, because like especially in a matter like that, if you are defamed, there's a way in which it usually takes place. I think like you should report to the police, then there's someone will be given to you. You will do a statement. Then from that statement, you will be called to the courts. And when somebody is arrested, there must be what we call the arrest warrant. And from the look of things, Albert did not get arrest warrant. And those are one of the questions. Was there arrest warrant? And somebody will also ask the tortures that he went through, because from the look of things, you find the Kanja was saying there are a few people that were interdicted, especially the police officers at the central police station. But what about the people who picked him? Because they're the people who fed the central police station with Albert, because somebody who gave the order, yeah, and the police who picked him, because he was picked by, I think, like 6 police officers. What about them? Be good. And maybe if you can at least explain to us, especially when such you have a case to answer. We have a complainant, and remember yesterday, a complainant was also among the police who were giving the press. What does that one mean?
The many things happen in that case, and police officers do understand criminal law, because even during training, they're being taken through criminal law. But law does not end with criminal law. Law is wide. And there are matters that are civil matters, like the issue of false publishing, what some people might call information, some people might call libel, some people might call gossip publishing. Like I said before, yesterday, that defamation, the statement must be defamatory, whereby you must refer to the complainant. And after referring to the complainant, it must be published. And when we talked about the issue of publishing law, publish is communicate to the third party. So if we had any defamation or we had any false publishing by the deceased, it is very logic to be taken through civil process. And the civil process, even if the police officer was defamed, you got no obligation to use criminal justice system. You got no obligation to use police to arrest somebody. You can complain, then the person can be served. He can appear to court. But he was treated as someone who had committed a criminal offense, because first he was arrested over the weekend, taken to police office, police station, but the occurrence book was never registered. The OB, it was never registered. So if the occurrence book was never registered, and even the jurisdiction, people do talk about jurisdiction where he was arrested or not, but the question is, this was a civil matter. This was not a criminal matter. And civil matters are distinct from criminal matters. And the police officers are being taught about the issue of criminal law. That's why you find that sometimes they go overboard. They don't know their limit. They ought to have dealt with the criminal issues, whereby they arrest people, the things like the DCIO and the prosecutor. But civil matters is, that's why even they're saying the complainant. Even now the parties, they change the names. You got the complainant, you got the plaintiff, if it's a matter of tort. But you understand, even in criminal, we have the defense, we have people like the victim and the perpetrator. So those things must be understood very clearly. That's why I still insist that it's a sad thing to take someone who has committed a civil offense through criminal process. So you must distinct. If you arrest somebody, you must understand under what circumstances do you arrest this person. And you understand also what happened at the police custody, because the safest place ever is the police station, and somebody is being killed in a police station. So we are not safe anywhere in this country, because that one has happened. And from the report, I'm persuaded that actually the deceased was strangled, he was beaten, he was tortured. We talked about the issue of torture. And you understand, when we have this, I don't know if people understand what we usually say. There's basic rights and fundamental freedoms. These basic rights are not in the Constitution of Kenya alone, or they are not for Kenyan people. They are universal. They are under United Nations Charter, under the United Nations Convention, whereby they are applicable to the United Nations members. So it's something universal, that each and every humanity, the fact that you are born as a human being, you have a free and equal right to dignity. So this chapter of our Constitution, it was extracted directly from the United Nations Charter and deposited into our Constitution without removal of any comma or full stop. So those rights, they are applicable to all humanity. It doesn't matter the Kenyan people. So it's a very sad thing indeed. It's a very sad thing that someone has committed a civil offense, is being taken through torture, someone's being tortured under police custody. The worst part of it, the police custody, whereby it's the safest place ever. So in my view, we have to call it spade a spade, even though people try to be liberal, but it is wrong. It's a wrongful act. Even if they try to make it look like, they try to blend like rogue police officers. if they are officers, they are officers. There's nothing like rogue police officers and those people are not rogue. Those police officers, they are police officers. Talk about the issue of that. Some of them, they have been inducted. But what I can just say that now they have said that they have reduced their salary. Maybe if they were earning 40Ks, now they're going to earn 20Ks, and now they are not going to undertake their duty. But that is not enough for me, because a crime has been committed at the police station. And a report from the autopsy revealed that actually the mob, the police mob, participated to ensure that they finish that life. What do we do as the high power? We call on the high power. This is the first time we want high power to carry the Independent Police Oversight Authority to work together with the DCI to ensure that, leave alone the people who brought him to Nairobi, the person who actually committed that crime at the police station, because someone can bring you, but they are the people because who has the authority to get into police station? It is the police by themselves, so they should be taken and should be arrested. Even though we have heard from the Senate plenary that tomorrow the CS for the internal security, the IG, and the power are going to appear before the Senate plenary, but that is not enough. That one cannot convince me. We want to see the complainant in this case. We want to see the people who arrested the guy from a different jurisdiction to a different jurisdiction. We want to see the people who actually killed that person, the police station. All of them should be arrested. We have not said that we want them to be killed. No, we say they should be arrested, they should appear before court, and they should take a plea. They should plead either guilty or not guilty. And that's why we have even encouraged for those people who are the prison warden, they should advance their studies. They should do paralegal. Police officers should undertake criminal law, but they should not end there. They should advance, and they should understand that these are civil matters which should be dealt at civil court, and there's criminal matters which will be dealt by the criminal courts, and the police should be the interested party. So those things must be undertaken, but it's very unfortunate. But there are many things that had happened, Brother Benson. But I want to refer this back to you. You are a good student of literature, the fasihi simulizi, fasihi. The book Mstahiki Meya, and Amakobura, you are also part of the people who understand the book. Mstahiki Meya, it has just happened before our eyes. As we read it in high school, we did it. In fact, we wrote it in our KCSE. In fact, that was one of the favorite books. Askari 1, Askari 2. Those things have just happened within that period. And I'll just refer back to you.
Asante sana ndugu yangu. Before I come to my good friend Mr. Joseph, I want to Kifo Kisimani by Professor Kadakawa.
It's brother Benson, ni Kifo Kisimani.
Yeah,
it's Kifo Kisimani, and we did it also. It has come before our eyes. I have seen it.
Yeah, so this is what kwa Kiswahili tunasema kuna muktadha ambao wametoa. Niko na muktadha hapa ambapo inasema athari za utawala mbaya kwa jamii. Ya askari wa kwanza, tumemkamata mshukiwa. Askari wa pili, hiyo hatua ya kwanza. Ya pili ni lazima auawe kudhalilisha utawala wa Mtemi Bonoko mtandaoni. Chanzo cha kifo chake lazima kiaminike na wana Butangi. Askari 1, niko na wazo nzuri. Ripoti iandikwe kwamba mshukiwa alijiua katika seli kwa kugongesha kichwa chake kwenye ukuta. Kwa wale ambao walifanya kitabu hicho, basi ni muktadha ndio huu. Na if you read it really reflects actually what happened, and it's ni kama the literature writers, I think that ni watu ambao wanatabiri, kwa sababu vitu ambazo wanaandika inakuja, tunaona kama zinatendeka tu kwa macho zetu, kwa sababu ukiangalia hata wakati ambapo ile play ya The Girls, there was also a paragraph about it that was also written, and it came to pass. So maybe Joseph, let me ask you, if you look at what is happening, especially when you look at the police, what does this one show you about, or what does this one tell about our police force or police service in terms of what has happened?
Brother, thank you for the question. I'm going to answer you shortly. I wanted also to add there is a book called Enemy of the People. You know, we are living in these times, because if you remember, the enemy of the people was about a government. I think a government that was very corrupt. They had even corrupted the water, and they never told the people the truth about the water which was corrupted. So I think our teachers helped us in molding us to, and I don't know where these guys, Ruto and the other guys, they were taking their studies, because if they took their studies in literature, I think they're supposed to be knowing these things. These things are supposed to be with them, because if we study these things, these are not things that we just came from the blue. You just quoted a book that told us what happened these 2 days, between these 2 days. You have just quoted a book which says what happened within these 2 days. So it means even maybe them, they are taking the book literally and telling that ajigongeshe kwa ukuta, tuseme amejigongesha kwa ukuta. So to come back to your questions, we have a very, what do I call it? The police force in Kenya is it's a very, I will not say all of them, because it's not all the police force which is the problem, because not all our brothers in the uniform are bad. So I'll say, but the majority of the police force, it's like they are radical, because the way they do their things, brother. If you are in a real set of mind, you cannot do the way they do the things. You cannot be that. You have seen people like right now. Yesterday I saw people are going for the maandamano. They have taken placards. They are telling you, we want to demonstrate peacefully, for saying that the police actions have become very too much in the country. The police have started to shoot the tear gas up in the air. You know, I was hearing about this guy. I think you know him. He's a security expert. His name is Musamali. Do you know him? Yeah, he's a security expert. He was saying the procedure of quelling a demonstration. He was explaining it in Citizen. I think it was in 2023 demonstration, the ones for Azimio. He was trying to explain how as a police officer you are supposed to quell down the maandamano, or how you're supposed to handle yourself. And he was explaining and saying that the police, the first thing they do when they arrive at the scene where there is too much demonstrations, and these demonstrations were, maybe they were not planned for, they had not been given the permit to do the demonstration. First thing they do is they need to announce to the people, please, you need to leave the premises. Please, you need to leave the premises. And you don't just say once. You need to insist to the people until they agree to leave to the premises.
Yes.
If those guys, they become hostile to you, that is what he was saying. If the guys become hostile to you, and they start throwing things like stones or something, you should not even first, you should first take what are they? You know the things wanajikinga nazo. Si unajua zile vitu wanajikinga nazo. You're not supposed even first to react. Then after that, if you see now it is becoming out of hand, that is the moment now you use the first strategy. That is the moment now you fire one tear gas. And he was saying there is always one police officer with a rifle. One police officer is always with a rifle. And that rifle is used when there is people who are in the demonstration, and they have tried even to injure all the people who are there, even the police officers who are before you. Now there are remaining a few who are now, you are seeing now the situation is live. You are about to be chased, or you are supposed to be killed. But in Kenyan police, brother, they start with the shooting first. They start with the shooting. Now they start talking to you. We need you to leave. So what does that tell you about our police force? It's not educated. They are not educated, brother. They are not given the life skills of education. But how will you educate a person if you're giving him a salary of 26,000? Where will you get the chance to educate a person about what he's supposed to be handling? If you knew you are taking people, The grades are not the matter. The matter is not the grades. You can be having a grade that you did not pass your exams, but you have knowledge. Why don't they take lessons to educate these police officers? But the people who have failed, I'm not going even to say only the police. The people who are above them, they have failed, brother. They have failed in everything, in giving them houses, brother. These guys, they come, they meet you. Wewe mwenyewe unawaambia fanya kile unafanya niue. This guy has slept in a round house at night. He was given salary 26,000. This stupid guy has cut him housing levy. He has cut him NSSF. He has added him all these taxes he's adding. Then you expect the police officer's state of mind is okay? His state of mind is not okay. These guys are mental. They have mental issues. Mental issues is not all about money. They have not seen their families. You are being shifted. You are shifted anyhow. Today you're in Nairobi. Tomorrow you'll be in Magadi. The next day you'll be in Northeastern. The next day you hear you don't know your way in Kapendo there. They are killing you there. So these guys, they're not in the right states of mind. And the moment you go in the countries that are developed, just look at the police officers. The way they are paid their salaries, the way they are groomed. My friend, you find even a police officer, the shoe is torn. The trouser, even you don't know how it looks. And we continue telling them that they are police officers. Even the institutions themselves, they have failed. Parliament itself has failed to help these police officers because IPOA is supposed to be funded. Who is supposed to have fund the IPOA? It is the parliament. What are they doing? It's underfunded. So the police are not in the right state of mind. I will not blame only I will not put the blame only on the police officer. I'll put the blame on the entire police force, the national police force, starting with the senior there, the IG, because the IG is the one who is supposed to be checking the state of mind of the police officers.
But now, thank you. There's something that also that you've mentioned that at least we have to talk about, especially when it comes to this, the bodies that have been given the mandate, especially to carry out investigation, like IPOA. And from the history, ever since the IPOA was came into being, first of all, I was listening to one of the person who has been working there in one of the shows. He was talking about like they do not have enough investigators. That is one. Secondly, they do not have the power to arrest. Their power is only to do investigation and hand over the report, which sometimes they also, if they do not have enough. And if you look at IPOA, look at NCIC, some of these commissions that are being formed, you find that they're not so much effective. They're not given powers by the parliament to carry out. The power that they've been given are quite much minimal, because for you to do a forensic like the one the IPOA wants to do, when they want to use the lab, do they have a lab of their own, or they have to use the one that are at the DCI headquarters? What about if they go to DCI headquarters and they're being told, oh, today the machine is not working, there's a breakdown with the machine? What will they do with the specimen they've collected? What will they do? Will they keep them for that long? And will you still get the exact findings, especially if it's something that needs to be forensic, needs to be done immediately? That is one. And talking about the police and about the crowd, we know there are men and women in our Kenya police service, the men and women of great integrity, the people who have served Kenyans. There was a time I was seeing one guy in Mombasa, a police officer who, I think there was a Kenyan who was very sick, and he took it upon himself and did all that he can do. There's also another video that I saw of a police officer. They arrested the Rasta guy, a young guy, and they were telling toa viatu, and the other police officer akamwambia vaa viatu, akamfungia mpaka viatu, akamvalisha kofia, akamwambia uende. So I believe, but they are few, yeah. But now, if they are few, because you cannot point out the few, it means that the entire police force will be blamed for the wrongs that have been done by the few. That is something that we also have to acknowledge. Now, you've talked about the life of, especially when it comes to the housing and the condition of our police. Yeah, some of them, especially when you go even to the police post, one thing that also we tend to forget, these people are our brothers. Our brothers, some of them are our sisters, some of them are our brothers, some of them are our fathers and uncles. We usually have a conversation with them. We have family meetings with them. We see the constraint that they have, especially when it comes to contributing or something that to do with financial. Yeah, we know. So those also might contribute. And Makubura, let me just ask you before also I invite Miguda in terms of, because Miguda will deal with you in terms of, I will tend to engage you in terms of constitution and law, because you can assist us to understand Makubura, you too. If you listen to the father, and the mother especially, the mother also, there's a clip that is going around, especially what the mother said, but she was speaking in the Luo, so like I don't know whether so many people got it, but now you listen to the father, and something that really we did not catch yesterday was about the father knowing very well that the son maybe has been arrested and there is something that we call bail. The father carried a title deed, and he knew that he carried a title deed to go with it, just in case the lawyer might want something or the courts might want something like a bail for the son to be released. He was ready to give that title deed as he fights for a son. But to his surprise, he came and Dusty was shown the dead body. Another thing also the father was speaking about today is about the report that he was given earlier. Is now confirmed that it was not true. But in developed country, if you give false information, especially, that is federal offense. Do you think even the the first officer who wrote the first publication about inflicted self-injury of the late Albert hitting himself on the wall has a case to answer?
Yeah, I think I did talk about the same, and I said that it was such a painful day today when the whole report was being read by the doctor. And specifically, if you heard the story, I mean, the previous information that the parent had been given was that this gentleman hit himself on the wall. And it is such a painful thing to the parents, because this is someone that and I'm quite sure that even those who are giving that information, they did not know that there was a call that had been made to this same guy. If you remember the call that he had with his friend, I think that call would tell you that there is no way this gentleman would have hit himself on the wall, because remember, he was speaking about him asking his friend. He was just afraid of one thing, that he's never gone to the cells, he's never experienced, and he asked his friend, how is it really safe? Do you think someone would come out to ask whether that place is safe, would get to an extent of hitting himself or killing himself? I don't think that is right. People who do psychology, of course, understands that from that conversation alone, it is a clarification that this gentleman loved himself and loved his life to an extent that he was just, trying to gather some information on what really happens in the cells. It is such a painful thing, and the person who came up with the information from the police department saying that the gentleman had hit himself, he needs to be arrested, because that is what we call now false publication, and it warrants, of course, arrest. And this one now is a serious offense, because you've given wrong information to conceal the real identity of what really happened. It's like you being called by the DCI to give a clarification on something, and then you give a wrong information, but then later on, if you get out of that particular place, you now say after the investigation, what is found is simply a different thing. Of course, the person who gave that conclude, is a collaborator with the masterminds of that killing, and he needs to be arrested as well. He needs to clarify and to give the information of who gave him that authority to give a false publication, a false statement on a serious matter that involved a life of a citizen of the Republic of Kenya. Something else that you've asked is about the mother. Yes, I did see the mother give a chronology of what had happened when his son was being taken by the DCIs. And she said that she was there at home, of course. The mother was there at home, and she had prepared something for the son, the wife. And so the son and the wife were just having their lunch outside there, seated on a stone, which is within just their compound. And that is when the guys came. And this son had just come from Ringa town, where he'd gone to buy some seedlings that he wanted to plant. And according to that story of the mother, after maybe having the meal, he was going to proceed with the planting of those tree seedlings. It is such a painful thing that, of course, she said that after the arrest, the father followed, and then she was expecting, while at home, Analinda Boma, she was expecting that should be told that either your son has been taken to the courts, and this is what the court has said, and he would be back home to attend to his to his normal chores. But to her surprise, she was told that the son had died, and he had died after hitting himself on the walls of the police cell. It's such a saddening story. And personally, I do not really have much to say on this. It is a wake-up call still to the people of Kenya. We need to stand up. We need to fight, a continued fight, a fight for our future, a fight for the next generation that is coming. Just like when we were looking for the independence in the Republic of Kenya in 1963, 1964, those who fought while we were looking for that independence, they were not fighting for themselves. They were fighting for their generation, a generation that would then come. And that is why we got the independence. And today, we are thanking them for having gotten us the independence, the freedom to rule ourselves as the blacks. And some of them, we still acknowledge what they did up to date. After that generation came the other generation, more of it during the reign of Moi, the late president, who then started to bring some very bad rules and running the country with a dictatorship mind. And there are people who fought for that. There are people who fought for multi-partyism. There are people who fought for democracy. There are people who are killed. The likes of actually, there are so many people who are killed on that. You can remember, I can mention quite a number of names, quite a number. And those people, they gave their life. They came out to fight knowing that Moi was the president. He had all the necessary, power to even eliminate them, but they did not stop. They were fighting for this generation. Today, we find ourselves in this generation. And during this our generation, people have died. And I like the fact that we are continually fighting. We have to fight for the next generation so that when they come, they will also ask and appreciate the fact that those who are there, when the young people are being killed in their quest for justice, democracy, and all those things, there are people who went and their names would be mentioned. And I'm quite sure that the names of these young gentlemen like Ojwang Albert would be mentioned. The Gen Zs would be mentioned. June 25th would be a day of history, a day that would remind the next generation that just like today we remember the Sabasaba, what happened in Sabasaba, and we still commemorate, we still remember the vibrant politicians who came out to fight for this, democracy that we currently enjoy. We cannot allow ourselves to go back to the days of Moi, when no one would speak. When you speak, a cabinet secretary who had too much power, who'd just, send people to come and kill you. That is what we are seeing in this government. And it is so pathetic that in this government we have people who are not even educated. And they're the people who advises the president. They're the people who give instructions on how things are supposed to be done in the Republic of Kenya. We need to stand up, whether it is a matter of, coming out. We need to come out because we have a nation to protect, we have a generation to protect, we have a future to guard.
You have muted.
Just to let you know, the Homa Bay member of Parliament, women rep, Bensouda, Honorable Bensouda, had it very rough, especially at City Morgue, whereby he wanted to address the media. And at some point I had, where is the doctor? You're the family doctor and all that. And people told her, okay, go to Bunge. And this one tells you, and these things were just, it will be very difficult, especially to reconcile majority of young Kenyans with the leadership, be it with the president or members of parliament. It will be very hard. I'm just speaking from observation that I've made. Yeah, because let's face it. Before I ask you this question, when I condemn what happened to Honorable Ongondo Were, highest term possible. It should not happen to anyone. But when the message reached the leadership, actually all of them were, the mics were on, which was quite much different with this. The only difference here, to me, what I see, that wale ambao walifanya ukatili ni wahalifu na hao ambao wamefanya ukatili, kwa sababu hii pia ni ameuliwa kikatili. Ukweli ndio hiyo, ni mapolisi ambao labda watu wanaamini kwamba ukiwa katika mkono wa polisi unakaa kwamba ulinzi wako iko imara. So mimi nilikuwa natarajia kuona viongozi sana sana kutoka eneo hilo wametokea. Ilichukua muda. Ukiangalia hata ukienda katika nasema kwamba mtandao ama katika mtandao ya jamii yao, maandishi yao haikukuja immediately. Unaona, hawakukuwa wanataka kujitokea kimanzo venye walitokea siku ile. So ndio nakwambia itakuwa ni vigumu sana kuaminisha umati ya watu na uongozi. Na nakumbuka Millie Odhiambo tu alisema inafaa watu waanze kuangalia, na maneno ya Millie Odhiambo sasa inaonekana. Kuna wakati alikuwa kotini akasema inafaa tuongee, tuzungumze, lakini labda watu walichukua kama ni mzaha. In the life history of member of women rep of Homa Bay, that is the worst political history she will remember, that you are told not to address the public and you're told enda uko bunge, enda uongee kwa bunge. It's so shameful, and that is a wake-up call, especially for the leadership. Migoda, before, let me just engage you, because we know if somebody is arrested, those rights that this person enjoys, even I know if you're talking about the criminal, when you're taking the criminal or you're going under civil processes, when you're arrested, there are those rights that you should enjoy as somebody who's arrested. But from the look of things, the late Albert did not get those rights. And you say that those are some of the things that maybe the defense will be capitalizing on. What does this also speak about our system that we have? Especially, is the police being weaponized to push for another agenda, or it is a political weaponization?
Okay, before I talk about the political weaponization or police being used to advance political interests of politicians, I must clarify that we have the rights of arrested person.
Yeah.
And it is envisaged in Article 49 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. An arrested person has some rights. An arrested person has a right to remain silent. He has a right to be informed the reason of arrest and the consequences of not remaining silent. He also has a right to be brought before a court within 24 hours by the time he has been arrested. He also has a right to have an advocate to represent him or her in the case. He got so many rights. And also, if you advance further from Article 49, you got Article 50, you find also the Constitution was never blind. He also gave us the right of a detained person, someone who's in detention.
Yeah.
A detained person has got no right. You don't have any right to torture a detained person. A detained person has a right not to starve, not to be compelled to confess that he committed crimes. And also, he has a right to bail, a right to bond. Those are fundamental, those are basic rights for people. Therefore, it was very wrong. That's why we say it's a wrongful act, whereby we find out that our beloved comrade was killed in a police custody by the suspects are likely to be police officers, because no civilian is supposed to be custody doing what? Because he was also being held in a cell, just one person, where were the rest of the people who were arrested over the weekend. That is very wrong, and we still condemn. You talked about the issue of political taking advance. They are using police to advance their interests. That is true. That is true. It does not begin with William Ruto. Actually, it has happened before. Moi did it. I think Kenyatta, I never had anything to do, and Kenyatta won, but I think I had stories of Moi, though I never saw Moi as a president. I think Moi did it. No, I read about Moi doing it. Kibaki, to some extent, the hunters of Kibaki were doing it, to some extent. Uhuru also, through Matiang'i, actually was doing it, though people don't want to comment about it, but actually it happened. We were victims. And actually, during the 2017 elections, Makubura, you understand what happened in Nyanza. By the police officers were everywhere. In fact, they were even trying to bring more weapons using choppers. So these things have happened before in each and every regime. The issue of politicians using police officers, or the famous criminal justice system to advance their political interests. Now, Ruto is not exceptional among the who have been in this country. He's using it. And if also the handlers of the president are using people like the IG Kanja, because the complainant is IG Kanja. I know IG, sorry, the DIG, Deputy IG, like that, as the chief complainant. So I think that it is always normal that, not they have made it to be normal in this country that when I'm in power, if I am at a position to access the National Intelligence Service, I can access the Inspector General of Police. And even you know what happened during the 25th demonstration previously. All of us knows that the military were deployed. They don't want us also talk about that one. We military were deployed internally, contrary to the provision of the law. People who are doing all these things are people in power. They are going far to use even the military to advance their political interests. Deploying military to civilians, using police officers against civilians. The people should protect civilians because they are the duty holders. We are the right holders, but the duty bearers. They have a duty as law enforcement officers to ensure that we are safe. Even right now, where I am right now, it's a duty of police officers to ensure that I'm very much safe, even outside the compound I'm living. Even when I'm in town, I'm traveling, I must be safe. I don't hold any explanation. I must be safe as a Kenyan citizen. That one is wrong, because the same people who should ensure that the safety internally are being used by politicians to advance their political interests or to settle their political scores with their competitors. That is very wrong. And they have gone far, even to use our beloved military. That thing should not happen again. Deploying military internally, military should be in barracks and they should do whatever they can do, because it is not even for us. It is for them. Because if we deploy military internally, military are friendly to the civilian. They can actually escort civilian to state house and they can take power from you. They can actually take power from the civilian. That's why before you make these decisions, you must do a lot of due diligence. They had said yesterday, because the more you try to even use the military to come into internal affairs, you are going to bring more tension to the country. Marco Bura, back to you.
Okay, thank you. Also give Joseph to maybe give us his take on why he thinks the president does not come out to talk about the same issue. As much as there has been pressure for the last 2 days, we've not seen him come or write anything on regards to this. The Luo Nyanza leaders, of course, some of them came out of the pressure, and part of what we saw today when the women rep of Omabe also came out, and she wanted to have a press, and she was sent away by the people. Maybe you can also give us your take on what you think about the political class, on why they've taken time not to speak about this, while some of them are coming out to speak. Joseph?
Yeah, yes, my brother. There is a reason that the Gen Z tried to ban the parliament, and I think this one did not sink in everybody's brain. The reason that the Gen Z tried to ban the parliament is because the 13th parliament has become a disgrace to the Republic of Kenya. It is such a disgrace that even the youth are feeling to ban the parliament because of how they have become a disgrace. Not only a disgrace to the people who elected them, but a disgrace to each and every institution, because their work has been to enable the executive to fulfill its their work has been to fulfill the dirty linen of the executive and to clean it. So it has become just like a laundry area for doing the dirty linen for the government. So it's not a wonder that you have seen William Ruto not talking. Today you had the MPs from the Kenya Kwanza, they were talking about Langat. Did you hear them condemning William Ruto? They never talked about the president. We are told as they say, the buck stops with the president. Why did they not speak about the president today when they're in the Senate? Only some people who are following some opposition leaders are the ones who are talking about the buck stops with the president. Did you hear them saying the buck stops with the president? And I'm very sure very soon somebody will carry the cross. Ruto people think is a very brave man, but Ruto is one of the most most afraid cowards I've ever seen in my life. He pretends he's like warrior type and he's so much educated, but he's one of the. And if you want to know he's a coward, just look at the time the Gen Z started their demonstration. He hid in State House for about 1 month. Right now, you not see him in those public rallies. I'm telling you, because of this issue, he's going to stay there for about 2-3 weeks. So we did not wait for him to speak, because he's a deaf person, he's a dumb person, he does not speak, he sees no evil and talks no evil. So his statement even is null and void. We don't need his statement, as long as we know what happened, and we know who killed and we want to know who killed them and where the orders came from. Ruto, we are going to deal with him 2027. Today also, I was speaking in another place, and some guy told me that they want to do revolution before 2025, 2026. But brother, we are still a country who is in that world, brother. We are still growing. And I am praying for Ruto to go, but also I cannot pray for anarchy in my country. You know, you can pray for Ruto to go, but you cannot pray for anarchy, that the army to take over. You have seen the countries that the army has taken over, it takes a long time to recover. So me, I'm praying that we reach to the ballot, we vote out this guy, because that is the only way we can. So we are not waiting for his apologies. He apologized to the youth just 2 weeks ago. He has killed one. Even he has not waited for his apology to sink. He has already killed one youth. So there is no apologies he can make. His work is done, and I thank God, because I think he has confused this guy. You know, they say when God wants to finish you, he always bring confusion in your life. So he has confused this guy so much till he's confused. He's trying to bandage this side that is bleeding. He finds he even has opened another wound that is bleeding so much than the one he was closing. So we don't expect for him to tell us any sorry. For Bensuda, it serves her right. She went to, it's like she wanted to go for her photo ops. We don't need photo ops with her. Let her go to Bunge, where they are used to their criminal activities there. Those all members of parliament, I say they are not honorable, they are thugs. So she's one of the thugs. So there is no apologies we need to make to her. Let her go to the thugs that they hang around there in the Bunge. For me, I know the 13th parliament, I'm not going to return anybody to power with my vote, because I know my vote is holds power. So I'm not going to return any of them, because I know that is a rotten house. We are trying to clean. I know brother has told us here that Matiangi killed people. They have killed people. Even Uhuru has killed people before, and the criminal justice has been used before. But what we can do now, we need first to remove this guy, so that now we can drain the swamp. Because me, I said I'm all that guy for draining the swamp. We don't have good guys now, but we can try to make ends meet with the ones we have for now, to hold on till we get a clean person who can be able to clean and drain the swamp. Because brother, how long are we going to continue shedding our blood? We shed our blood in 90s from 1950 from 1956 to 1963. We gained our independence. We shed our blood when we were liberating the second liberation of Kenya, which was during Moi era. We shed our blood during 2007, during the post-election violence. Now you want to tell me we are shedding our blood again because of a guy who has come here pretending to be a Moi 2.0, Moi on steroids. I heard he's been called Moi on steroids. We have come to shed our blood again because of Moi 2.0. No, brother. We have shed blood too much. It's a high time now we start using our brains. Our kids are shedding blood, brother. We need to stop this cycle of shedding blood. And that's why even people are being told, brother, if you pray, if you are Muslim, pray. If you are Hindu, pray. If you are Christian, pray. Brother, we need to keep our country in prayers, because it's like the devil is out there to come and bring violence in our country, to shed blood. Because also the guys we elected, brother, you see, it's like they were entered by demonic forces. They don't talk. They don't talk. Huh? Even Raila was supposed to release the statement. It's just because he felt the pressure. The pressure was too much. Huh? Have you seen Uhuru talking about it? He has not talked about anything. He's a former president. Shame on him. Me, I tell you that as it is. Huh? Have you seen him come and say, no, this is a Gen Z, why you killing youth? But when another president for Zambia dies, everybody in the message, condolences. It's such a shame that we hold people who are in the political class like they are gods, like they are somewhere, they are gods there, they're immortal. Such a shame. But but the people like this dad of this guy Albert, because he was just a fundi there, so they can kill the boy like he's just a chicken. They can kill him the way they want. But if it was Ogondo and the other guy Mushai, they make for us noise. That's why I said I will never say sorry for saying the things I said. I said when Ogondo died, I said we sympathize and we move on. I will never say sorry for making that statement because they think they are God and they think that they are up there and us we are down here. So them when somebody is dead, they feel it. But when somebody has been shot dead by police here, they cannot even talk. Rather, it's a shame in this country. It's a shame we are sliding into a banana republic.
Thank you, Miguda. I'll give you a chance to just tell us what you think about politicians, especially these ones coming from Umabei or Luo Nyanza, the ones in ODM, on the reason why they've not come out, with the energy that they've always had, the members of ODM from Luo Nyanza, to criticize such a move. And how this is going to how is this going to impact the politics of Luo Nyanza? Because we are seeing young people coming out to criticize these leaders, and without fear, they are mentioning them by name, and they are telling them on their eyes that it is not going to be business as usual. And that part of that, of course, you saw a member of women rep from Homa Bay being sent away. And, you can give us your take on that, and then you give us your final remarks, and then Joseph will also give us his final remarks, and then we'll close. You're muted. Miguda? Okay, I think Miguda is having a problem. Maybe Joseph, I'll give you a chance to give your final remarks, and again, maybe what you think about, if you've been following or if you've known now the politics are going on, especially Luo Nyanza. We've had consistency among the ODM leaders, especially when they are on the other side, on the opposition side. They have always seriously criticized the government, but this time around, they are not with the people. And part of that is what we saw when the women rep was being sent away. Miguda, maybe Miguda can give us that, and then you give us your final remarks, Joseph. Miguda?
I'm still breaking. Am I still breaking?
No, you can continue.
You notify me, so I can know. I just wanted to say that you have asked me about the Luo MPs or the MPs from Luo Nyanza who have not come out to condemn the act, or who have delayed to make their statement. Of course, I can't say that I'm disappointed. We have been disappointed, but luckily, the way Joseph have just said. But now the people who don't forget what the Luo MPs are old, most of them. Kikus have tried to bring young people to parliament. Kalenjins have tried to bring young people, even the Kava nation. But now Luos, we need to transform that region through bringing young legislators. Actually, don't worry about them. The electorates are aware. Tunafagia what that should not worry you. But what I just want to say is that people should always come out to defend the electorate, because we are the boss. But the people have to make sure that they are there. We are going to make sure that they are not there, because if they cannot protect your bosses, you can't protect the people you are serving. You are just a servanthood leader to the people. Then you want to pretend to be a boss. You are no longer a boss. So Makubura, I just want to say one thing about the issue why we are not in a hurry, because we love our country. We want to do it in a constitutional way. It should be democratic way. because you understand what happened, the Arab Springs. The Arab Springs swept people like Gaddafi at Tripoli, that is in Libya. And up to date, there is no country there. You understand what happened in Sudan and South Sudan, current Sudan, what's happening in Ethiopia, currently what is happening in Congo. And I gave the story of Central African Republic. We don't want to go that route. We want to be peaceful. We want to remain a democratic state. We want to be a constitutional democracy state. And it's very important for the people of Kenya to enjoy, because the scenarios at Central African Republic is something that I personally don't like us to go. So we understand that we have elections in 2027. And when we get an opportunity to elect our leaders, the way Joseph have just stated unequivocally that there's no one who's going to get back with his vote. I'll appeal to each and everybody, because we are having different polling stations. Just look at the reforms, the reformists in that list, then give them a chance to be in government. But anybody who conspire with this current regime, they should go home, all of them. That's why I say, do not forget about it, because we got the veto. The citizens got the veto, and the Gen Z are saying that they have the watches, but the people have the time. So they have the watches, but we have the time. And also, we should ensure that this is the country we have. The country has been there, but we should not treat people inhumanly. It's very wrong to treat a person like that. That is a wrongful act. And even if the instruction came from above, that above must come and explain to the people why such things must have happened to an innocent young man like
Okay, thank you, Miguda. Joseph, maybe you can give us your last remarks as well.
Brother Mark Obuya.
Yes, yes.
I want to thank Oguda because he was bringing a very good point. Before I saw in a show somebody saying that we need to do a revolution, we need to overthrow the government. How will you overthrow the government, brother? Brother, you are coming to tell people who are at home, you are abroad, you are telling people to come overthrow the government. Do you know overthrowing the government what it means? It means that we are going to go the way for the countries like Sudan and the other. Have you seen those countries recover, Mr. Makobuya? Have you seen them recover? Check any country which has been under a coup, and you tell me which country has recovered. Let us not think that, like headless chicken, that we are going to just do a coup, and we, even when you do a coup, you need to have a plan. How will you do a coup and you don't have a plan? You need to know the leaders who are coming. You're saying that we are going to jail all of them. Then you bring who? Who are you going to bring? You bring other people who are going to be the same as these people. We need a transition that is going to be constitutionally right, and we are going to change these leaders constitutionally right. So that somebody does not say that we change them through any types of bad or not correct means. We use the constitution. We are a constitution governing country, and we should use the constitution. The constitution does not help you when it is good. It is also supposed to be there when you are doing bad things. So, Brother Mark Obuya, I would like to ask you about the Nyanza region, because you know it very well. You know me, I know the leaders, but I don't know how the ground is. Nowadays, people might think Gachagua is not also a good person, but he tries to make himself better. He's not nobody is good, Mr. Mark. Nobody is good. But if he's trying to say sorry, I don't know. I don't know about him. I will not talk about him, but I would like to ask you about Nyanza region. How is the politics there in the ground? Because I don't know about Nyanza region, but guys, you need a change before I make my closing remark.
Okay, yeah. The politics of Nyanza, just the biggest problem that I can say, or the biggest reason why we are not seeing many young people coming out. It is not that we are not seeing them, especially going for elective position. The fact of the matter is that they are coming out and going for these elective positions. But remember, ODM has dominated that area, and we've got politicians who've been in politics for quite some time. And, what happens is that I may have the intention of going for political seat, maybe a member of parliament seat. But the problem is, if I come out to fight for the ODM ticket, I'll not be given that ticket. I'll not be given first because I do not have money. 2, I'll not be given because my parents are not known. 3, I'll not be given because I'm a first timer. And maybe 4, I'll not be given because they have never seen how I operate in the openness of politics or in the field of politics. So there's that fear whereby they are fearful of new people coming and then maybe not respecting the party, maybe not promoting the party. There's that fear. And again, currently we have quite a number of people who have always been mistreated by the political party ODM, and the list has grown. It's a big list. My wish and what we prayed for is that if Raila would have managed to get the AUC seat, at least the politics of Luo Nyanza was going to turn and it was going to change immediately. But it is so unfortunate that he didn't get that position. And so he's come back, and his coming back is, the kind of politics that he plays there is that he has people all over, and those people are being paid by this same party. And when you have people who are somehow wealthy in the society, remember they will always have a voice when it comes to what is supposed to be done. For example, matters of poverty is still a problem in the Luo Nyanza area. You'll find that those people who are closer to the party or closer to Raila, partly they might be maybe the people who are assisting in one way or another in terms of making policies or deciding for the society. But if you don't give them those mandate, if you start going against them, automatically you'll be arrested, you'll be mistreated, you'll be killed, and that is the journey of politics that is being played over there. So it has been a challenge to people who are coming up with new political ambitions, and especially the youth. The youth do not get or do not have any leeway, to advance their politics, because the environment is not easy. And again, for example, if I give you an example of a constituency, for example, in Nyakach constituency, which is within Kisumu County, there are almost six people who have declared their interest for that position. And I can tell you that they are millionaires, they are billionaires. Some of them have had problems with the law, and they have been accused of, scamming people in the gold industry. So remember, you're going to vie for this position with people who have money that when they get out to bribe people, or when they meet people, or they want to have meetings with people, the smallest amount they will give someone is 2,000. And you want to get to the field to tell the people that I have what it takes, I can be a good leader, but I do not have money. I'm not even going to give you 50 bob. So you find that ignorance, and of course, we understand when the society, the poverty level is on a higher level, they will not always listen to you. They will not give you time to explain what you have. More of people who are vying in those positions are wealthy people, that I can tell you. And some of them who are currently members of parliament, they are also very wealthy, wameiba pesa mingi, and they want to retain those positions. So you find that getting them out of those positions is not easy. And one thing that I also want to tell you, that the people of that area, they are very enlightened. And in terms of literacy, there is a high level of literacy. But now the challenge is there is no freedom to express political ambitions in those areas, that I can confirm to you. And that is why you are seeing even those who are ministers in the government of Moi are still members of parliament, are still governors. Those who are ministers in the government of Kibaki are still members of parliament up to date. So that is the challenge. But one thing I can tell you that the people of that area are starting to wake up, and especially the youths, of course, led by the Gen Zs. And that is why on there has been a move or a push that Raila retires so that we bring a new young person. And that is why specifically the young people have tried to mention Babu Owino. The reason why he's being mentioned is that because at least he has the views which are somehow consistent with the young people. We've seen him being talked about by the politicians of that area. They don't want him to speak. They don't want him to come out and maybe chat the way, especially for the youths. And that is why we've seen quite a number of members of parliament from that area ganging up and coming to tell the society, of course, led through Raila, that this gentleman cannot be trusted and such kind of things. It is a fight that is being fought by the youths, and we believe that we will get out of this dictatorial kind of politics, a politics where those people only love themselves. The political class in that area, they love themselves. They do not care about what is happening in those areas. Yeah, that is what I can say. But in terms of politics, and especially what is leading to 2027, I can clearly and categorically tell you here, if Raila Amolo Odinga insists and continues working with William Samoei Ruto, even me personally, I can never and I will never vote for him. The reason why I'm saying this is because as a region, we've got our interest. As a region, there are interest of the youths. The youths are not given any chance to talk about their issues. They're not given a chance to speak about matters which really touches about their lives. And that is why I'm telling you, there's a huge number of people who are saying that they better not vote or vote for that person that they call tribal. But that person maybe will respect the rights and the humanity, the constitution of the Republic of Kenya. That is the state of politics in that region.
Brother Marco Buya, I'm very sorry. I've seen that ODM has kept you under shackles. I hope that you are going to go to get out of those shackles, because that means the party is holding the youth in shackles, and people cannot even express their will to even become. That is now opposite of now of where I come from. Where I come from, brother, if you don't perform, the next election you will not see any votes, and I think you have seen it by action. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you now, brother Mark Obuya. You see the members of parliament you're seeing now in this parliament. I'm telling you, from my region, Mount Kenya, you will not see them in 2027. That one I'm telling you. Starting with this guy who was given this Kawanjiko, who was elected before even this UDA when it was being formed. That is the first casualty. I'm telling you about so many casualties. Even Kemani Ichung'wa, it will be fun seeing who will be. I'm telling you, these guys from I know from my region, these guys are going to fail. But for me I'm voting Nairobi. I know KJ, mimi naangusha yeye asubuhi mapema. Sakaja, I'm not voting for him. Maybe Sifuna. Sifuna is the person who is remaining. I see I can vote. But the other guys, even the MCA, what a chini, I don't care. And the top of the top, cream of the cream, Ruto, I'm taking him back to Sugoi. So my take is I'm sorry for the family. We are still grieving. We still be here. We still be pushing for them so that we can get justice. I know this time round we are going to get justice. And I hope that also as we continue with this fight, God protect us so that not many of our youths are going to be taken their lives, because I see this government is like it wants just to destroy young people's lives. I think it's like they have been asked tender from by Satan to bring young people's life and to take their wachukue nyota yao. So I'm praying as we continue. We know, Brother Obuya, we are going into now the most contentious issue, 25th of June. And you see, it has started very early. So now I don't know how it will be in 25th of June, because they have started, and I don't know who advises this guy. Today the newspapers were saying that this is the first presidency that is so much learned, because we have a president who has a doctorate and a deputy who has a PhD. But do you see, it's like people who are learned, Mr. Mark? Do they seem like people who are learned to you? It's better even be elected.
And that is, we've even started questioning whether we should be really electing very learned people, because they seems to be on their own field. They're not understanding. I don't know. It is the worst presidency that we've ever had. As much as Moi, we understand, was a bad one, but at least he did those things in a generation that during a generation that was not really well enlightened. But it is so unfortunate that huyu sasa anafanya na ile kichwa ngumu bila it's that painful.
Mr. Mark, even for Uhuru was not good, but this guy is making Uhuru to be as clean, as white as snow. Even Uhuru was not good. He killed people. They were being found in Libayala. But this guy has made him look like mweupe kama pamba. It's like he was very good, but he was not also very good also. So also I wanted to tell you about Sifuna. You know why I like that guy? That guy is from your area, or is from where? He's from Western, or from that guy? I just like his intellect.
It's from Western. If that guy decides, of course, with combination of some of the leaders that we've been mentioning, that they want to maybe go for presidency, we can vote for them as early as
that guy. I know I can vote for him. Before God, that guy, if he's going to become a president of Kenya, my votes counted in brother Mark, because I know that guy. I've had, what he told. There was a day they were arguing in cities. I like to listen to the daybreak news too much. He told this guy. Was it Osoro? He told him, brother Osoro, most of the time we are in Bunga, we don't even know what we are doing. Not everybody knows even what we are doing. So don't think that when we elect these people, these learned people who has PhD, who has, I don't know, degree, you find even they are the most worst even MPs. They take their nonsense. Brother, you changed we changed Didi Nyoro. Who is the budget committee now? Is Atandi. What is Atandi doing? Has Atandi done anything for you? You hear he's even saying that they are going to additional, I don't know. You hear the budget, brother? I want to tell you something about the budget. The budget now is 4.2 trillion. Where are we rushing? Now we are entering 4.2 trillion mark. So it means, I was listening to this MP from Githongori. He was saying, so we need to borrow 2 trillion to cover the budget, because already we are collecting 2 trillion. That is what we are collecting. So for the supplementary budget, what do we need? We need 2 additional money for the supplementary budget and for covering the deficit. So it means we need how much money? 1.5. Imagine, where are we going to 4.2? For what?
And for remember, what? We have a debt of 1.6 trillion.
Yeah, we have a debt, and it's growing also. Now, where are we rushing? Where are we rushing to 4.2? Can Kenyans not survive with 3 trillion or 2.8? Who told them we need that budget? They are doing 4.2. Who told them? Who told Ruto? Brother, one thing that I'm angry with this guy, he came to lie to us. I'm not going to take money from this other, but he's doing the same things he was saying. It's like this guy, I don't know. What does he drink? I think when he's in the campaigns, he's always very drunk. Because you cannot tell people like this, then in the evening you are changing your mind, you are doing the other things. You look stupid. And you are saying you have a doctorate. What doctorate do you have? What doctor? But I think he has doctorate in botany. We voted for a guy who has gone to do autopsy on frogs. is the one to come to do autopsy on Kenya. My friend, we are joking. Even us, we are jokers. We are big jokers. Now this is the guy we are waiting that is going to segment our Kenya and know where the problem is. And knows nothing. That's why you see he's very good in the shamba. I wish they could. I think this guy is supposed to be only the minister. His work was only Minister of Agriculture, and that is it. This guy, we took him to another level, which was not supposed to be. But I'm talking with my friends from the Kikuyu. You know me, I was supporting Raila Odinga in 2022. So I'm talking with my Kikuyu friends. They are very angry. They tell me that I don't want you to tell me about that guy. So we are talking. I'm telling them now. We will also make a mistake, Mr. Mark. Don't accept that we are not going to make a mistake. I know you are going to make a mistake this time also. But we are hoping the mistake, even if we do a mistake, it will not be like the one we have done before. So we clean up this mess. Mr. Mark, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we'll just end it for now. I really appreciate you for coming, and allow me to acknowledge the presence of Felix at the comment section, Gypsy Corner, and everyone who came to watch today. We really appreciate, and we hope that part of the conversation we are having here is educative, and also it's helping in one way or another. And as a channel, we're also sending our condolences again to the family of Albert. And we hope that he will get justice. His families will get justice. The Republic of Kenya will get justice. The youths of the people of Kenya will get justice. And we will be living in a country where our lives are protected, a country where we are respected. That is my take for now. Allow me now to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed evening. Thank you so much, everyone, and may God bless you. Thank you, and see you again tomorrow.